Frying in the pan while I use my little hands. Baloney, baloney, I love you. Putting on the mustard should never get you flustered. Baloney, baloney, I love you. I put you on the bread like I'm putting you to bed. Baloney, baloney, I love you. Decent.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Monday, February 20th, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets, back in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Basketball sickos, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one. Just celebrated a big birthday yesterday, Trey Kirby.
Heyo!
Heyo, TK, happy birthday.
Yay!
What'd you get?
A basketball hoop.
Ooh, that's
A straight up
nice.
basketball hoop, yeah. So I spent 3 hours yesterday building a basketball hoop. Finally got it out as the sun was going down. Within 30 seconds, a kid I'd never seen before runs up the driveway with the basketball and tried to dunk.
Wow.
Ivan. Welcome, Ivan.
All right.
Welcome to the game, buddy.
The hoop brings all
It
the
was
boys to the
amazing.
yard.
I've never seen this kid. We just get the hoop up, coming up the driveway, 2 hands on the ball, tries to throw it down. I'm like, hey,
Respect.
nice try.
Yeah, respect. Last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
You're a better man than me. I would have been, get off my lawn, Ivan.
Oh, no. They need someone to shoot around with. Get the game going.
Yeah,
I packed him. Get it out of here.
Yeah.
were
I
you
don't think so.
slightly mad that he took the first shot on the net?
Yeah,
He did not.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Good.
First shot, first make. Still haven't missed.
We talking, I hope, a classic, net where we can raise and lower it. We can get it down to dunking height. Yeah, okay,
Absolutely. Currently set at 8 for the girls to get their shots up, but when I get home today, I'll be up to 10.
good. Nice.
Yeah.
To take some
that's
jumpers
right.
on, of
That's
course.
right, buddy.
Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Take a second, like the video, hit that thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, get your comments in all throughout the show with the stream team there. We are back here, of course, in Atlanta to recap All-Star Weekend. We're going to do a whole lot of that here on this podcast. And let's just start going through the big events, weigh in with your opinions on them, whether you liked them, hated them, the stars of them, and all that. And then we'll have some fill-in-the-blank fun a little bit later, sort of like a, an all-encompassing sort of look at All-Star Weekend. But Tatum scores an All-Star game record, 55 points, double nickel in the Team Giannis win. We were here back in Atlanta. We did fly yesterday, so we weren't in the arena for 8 hours watching the draft and the game, watching it from the confines of our own home. But what'd you think? Were you entertained?
Well, yeah, let's start with the picking before, because
Start with the draft.
That was more entertaining than years past. Having it before the game was more entertaining than having it on a Thursday. That being said, the starters got to go first because they're the starters.
Yeah.
The starters have to be picked first. They're the best players in the world. We should be seeing Jokic and Embiid and those guys being picked first because they're the stars. And also, the reason for putting the reserves first was to shield the last pick from having the embarrassment of being picked last. But in the end, Jokic was picked last, as far as chronologically, as far as time goes, the way the universe works. Jokic was
Not
picked
really.
last. I mean, him and Markkanen. He thought he was picked last. He got up, apparently. Him and Markkanen were the last two on the stage, and Jokic got up and went to LeBron, which made me think, he doesn't want to be picked last. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. But apparently after the game, he said that he thought he was the only one on stage, which just sounds bonkers. There's another 7-footer over there.
The guy was to his right.
Yeah, I think
Jokic couldn't give that much of a shit about the All-Star Weekend and turn his head to the right to see if there was another guy on stage.
Well, it was a long time, so he probably thought that all the picks were done,
maybe.
I guess. But he made it seem like Nikola Jokic and Lauri Markkanen were the last two on the stage, and those guys were the starters. It just makes no sense. And they actually handled it pretty well as far as the reserves go, because when it was Sabonis and Jaren Jackson Jr. as the last two, Sabonis was picked, and they immediately said, all right, and Jaren Jackson Jr., leader in blocks, that means you're going to Team LeBron.
I know.
So they did that fine.
Oh my God.
That was
How will he
disrespectful to
ever
the last
recover from being the last? I know.
He wasn't the last pick. It was Jokic and Markkanen, really.
Well, I
but
mean,
that's the stupid thing, is that you just flipped them. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's a good idea. Giannis was hilarious. LeBron with his, his preset jokes. The PG-13 one, not a good one. This is a family affair, so I'm picking PG-13. Okay, not good. But at least he was trying, and then he dropped the Luka Doncic. That was good.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
No, the concept we said right from the beginning when they came up with this draft idea, like, this is better. Do it like this. Overall, you're right. Fine. Stupid, this whole thing to shield the last pick of the reserves. They should get rid of that. I 100% agree with you, Tass. Just do the starters and then do the reserves. Everyone's a big boy. They'll be fine. They're the best players in the world. But overall, I thought it was a fun, 45 minutes or so?
Yeah.
It did take maybe a little too long.
Took way too long.
Yeah.
That should be a half-hour special. We don't need Shaq and Charles chiming in, really. On
Were they
that part.
supposed to be chiming in?
Who
is
knows?
The real question.
Who knows? Because
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
We got into a little bit of a debate on WhatsApp.
So there's only two things that happened there. Obviously, if you didn't catch it, the inside guys in another part of the arena, their mics were hot, and they were bleeding in through the broadcast. Now, Ernie, I don't think, could hear them.
No,
So
he definitely couldn't.
Either that was on purpose, and they were supposed to weigh in between the picks to the broadcast for the TV audience, or it was a mistake. Their mics were hot, nobody caught it, and it was like a shit show.
Yeah.
Either way, they still brought them in, in between the reserves and the starters, to ask them about how the reserve draft went.
Yeah.
We did not need that. We also didn't need
a commercial break, even just get it over with.
Yeah.
Or Ernie asking Giannis who he would draft first between Shaq, Charles, and Kenny, and he's like, Shaq. I mean, it's a pretty easy question
right.
on that one. I did think it was funny that when they were doing Luka's interview in the game with his earpieces, he's like, it was fun, but it was too long.
Yeah, he literally said
During the game.
too long.
Yeah, 100% took too
did.
long. That should be 15 to 30 minutes tops.
Yeah. When you're picking kids at the schoolyard, they don't sit there for a commercial break and wait. It was literally like 45
Let's go to
minutes.
Miss Quarterman to see what she thinks about the reserve draft.
I did like the graphics of it all, the idea with the kid coming up with the jersey to hand it to them, take the quick photo ops. Yeah. I like to see which kids were nailing it and which ones were really botching it in terms of holding the jersey. Some had it backwards, some were only holding one part of it. So that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Quicker.
That part was quicker. And then I guess they actually announced the starters before their pick, like they did a whole starter announcement. That's what also took long. Because the actual picks and Yanni saying, I picked Ja Morant, even though Ja Morant wasn't up there. Like those weren't taking too long. You know what happened to Giannis there? He just did his work too early because Ja Morant was an initial reserve.
Right.
And so as soon as the reserves came out, he was doing his work. Curry was the starter, and then Morant took the spot. So he just did his work too early. I don't think he made a mistake.
Well, the other part is he had his notebook. He should have been doing it in a Google Doc. He could have updated it very easily and looked off his
He's
phone.
old school, man.
Yeah,
How about the TNT crew and the production to have the balls to show that on the broadcast, to show a close-up of his picks? Because somebody could have been in LeBron's ear saying he's going to pick this guy first. Anyway.
I appreciated Zach Harper's theory today that this was all pre-scripted anyways, and that they'd given Giannis an old script. They said, you're taking Ja Morant with the third pick, and they just never updated it.
Wow, conspiracy.
Yeah, right.
I did like Giannis not drafting Drew Holiday, which everybody thought he was going to do first with his first reserve pick. I think he ultimately took him
second.
Did he take him second?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he maybe took him third there. But it was good just because LeBron's like, you'd been playing up this entire weekend, all about loyalty.
Career.
And then he takes, I guess, Damian Lillard with his first reserve pick.
Yeah, I mean, they're smart the way they picked him. They're picking first-timers like LeBron going with Embiid. I mean, first-timers, guys who hadn't had an MVP in their history. That's why you take Embiid first. And I like Embiid's comment after the game. He said the players know more than the fans. That's why he took me first.
He had a good game.
Yeah, great game.
But Tatum, the star, let's talk a little bit about the basketball. But 27 in the third quarter. He caught fire, Tatum did. That's the most ever scored in a single period in All-Star game history. Previous mark, 21. Steph Curry in the third quarter of last year's game. But like we said, 55. Any favorite moments from the actual All-Star game, TK?
There was one notable moment. Basically, was when Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum were going up against each other. I guess that was the end of the third quarter, right? They'd been talking it up for the entire 2.5 quarters up to that point, saying these two said they're going to go at each other if they're not teammates. They weren't teammates for the whole time. It finally came to fruition, and it was fun to see them actually playing defense against each other. And sort of, trying to stop each other and, both kind of settling for step-back jumpers every single time. You see that going on compared to the rest of the All-Star game, and you're like, yeah, maybe they should do a 1-versus-1 instead of a lot of the other stuff we saw. That was cool. Damian Lillard's far shot was cool.
Yep.
Then he took a bunch more.
Missed him.
Yep.
John Morant, couple good dunks. LeBron, obviously off the backboard. And that's basically all my notes, too, including the ones you just said.
Well, I like the mic'd up segment with Luka, even though you couldn't hear him all that well. But what? Is that worse than watching the game? I mean,
no, it's better than hearing Reggie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Luka saying it took way too long to pick the teams.
Yeah.
He was funny. They basically mimicked the baseball All-Star game. If you saw that happen, baseball's better for it, just because ain't a lot of movement out there. So that's good.
Well, it was really,
but it was a good attempt.
They did it in the Rising Stars with Jose Alvarado, and it was actually much, much better because he's a talker.
Yeah, and he's loud and clear, and sometimes Luka's mumbles get a little caught under the sounds of the game. But it was a good attempt, and I liked Giannis. He played one possession, he dunked, set the tone for his team with that dunk, and then left. A cool moment. And I like Kyrie trying to throw Jokic alley-oops over and over.
That was funny.
And he wasn't going for it. He just like, come on, man.
Who cares less about the All-Star game, Luka or Jokic?
Yeah,
it's neck and neck.
Yeah,
over years running here now, obviously, not just this one.
That's the thing. I agree. I like the idea of trying an in-game interview with a player, but it's got to be somebody who cares even a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, when Luka's on there saying the draft was too long and I just scored my 2 points, so I'm done, not the greatest look. Like, if it was Tatum or Jaylen Brown, that would be awesome to hear them going back and forth during the third quarter. Even Lillard, I think, would have been an exciting one. I think Tatum should have been the guy, though. Give him the mic.
Yeah, and Luka, there's a reason you don't pick him for All-Star Game MVP. He's got the heart and vibes. Like, he's not taking over. 4 All-Star games, 8 in the first 3, and then 4 yesterday.
Wow, that's it.
Hasn't hit double digits.
Points.
No, 8 in each one.
Okay.
28
oh my
total.
Goodness.
With no defense. He could put up 100 if he wanted.
Yeah, we had a combined 4 free throws attempted in this game. The lowest in All-Star game history. Previous mark was 7.
I feel like Brian Anderson was like shocked anytime a foul was called.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so the in-game play was moving. There's just no one. It was just all the breaks. There's a lot of breaks that made it super long. And the drafting. We started 9 p.m. Eastern. It was just a long night.
It was a long night. We did have GM Giannis, though, spoiling LeBron's perfect all-star record when it comes to drafting teams. The drafted teams era, he was 5-0. He's now 5-1, so he takes his first L. Donovan Mitchell was gunning for that MVP too.
Oh yeah.
There in front of his old stomping grounds. He went. I guess he became the first player to go for 40 points and 10 assists in an All-Star game. So he would have won this. Despite Tatum going for 55, of course. The only other notes I have. I loved Raptors fans getting very excited anytime SGA was playing with Siakam, and he was really looking for him. And everyone's like, "Oh man, you imagine that in Toronto?" That was making me laugh.
They played
Twitter.
They were in the lines together before the game, so Canada was playing with them side by side. Was that planned?
And yeah, that's basically it. A little sad for my guy, Star Fox, De'Aaron Fox, only guy not to score, and. In fact, Brian Anderson was on the call and he said, he pointed that out. Fox, the only guy not to score in the game, and then he botched the dunk.
Blew a dunk.
Yeah.
His only shot attempt.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I thought Shea was kind of disappointing. The way he played. He was just passing every time.
Yeah, he was diming up.
Yeah, he was diming up, which is cool, but let's see some shakes and some bakes out there.
It's
first time
gotta
guys
give it up for Kyrie.
happen.
Kyrie is a hell of an All-Star game
Yes.
player. He gets it. He puts on the show, obviously, with his dribbling and obviously the layups and stuff like that. So that was fun. But yeah, and then we get a lot of people you're right. The idea of I don't know, for scratching it by any means completely, the one-on-one we'd love to see. I don't mind it happening sort of organically in the flow of a game too. You just like to see it happen more often. And then for there to be a couple minutes of defense. And that's why we have the whole Elam ending in theory and the quarters resetting. But you get everybody going, what's the point of this? Every year.
And then a guy gets hurt. Like LeBron played defense for one possession and he hit his finger on the rim.
Right.
He said to Michael Malone, "I'm going to play D for you for one possession." And he goes back for the block, the chase down block, and he hurt his finger, and that's why he didn't play the second half. I mean, you could see the close up.
Yeah.
That finger got pulled That's for
why
sure.
you don't play defense.
And that's
in
why
the
you don't
All-Star
play
game.
defense in the All-Star game.
All right, well, let's hear from everybody out there. Any other thoughts on the actual All-Star game? Favorite moments, least favorite moments. I will say the blue jerseys, I liked them better in person on the court. I don't know, maybe the blue popped a little bit better under those bright lights. The yellows, my issue with them, because we thought that was maybe the cooler jersey, like the cooler look, the gradient, but I didn't like how it clashed with the yellow, a different yellow of the floor, of like the Salt Lake City, Utah floor. I didn't think that looked good. They looked like candy corn, too.
They did look like
a
candy
lot
corn,
like candy
yeah.
corn. Maybe I was hungry or something like that. All right, let's go to Saturday night. Let's talk about the dunk contest. McClung, who? Now you know his name. Puts on an absolute show. We were in the building for this one. Saw 350s from Mac. Should it have been for Lisa Leslie? I guess dropping a 9 on his second dunk attempt. But yeah, I mean, sort of felt like when he threw down his first dunk, it was his. It was his to lose, that's for sure. And he delivered. I mean, he didn't miss a dunk. That was the cool part.
Didn't miss a dunk, and in general, all four of these guys were generally putting down their dunks.
They were.
Outside of KJ Martin, who missed every single time until he needed to make it. Yeah, this was a good dunk contest. This is the best dunk contest, I would say, since 2020. That one we had two guys going back and forth that you really thought could win it. This one, shout out to Trey Murphy III. He was a great surprise in this, but he didn't get a 50 on any of his dunks. Never felt like he really had a chance to win. So to me, this kind of was very similar to the 2015 dunk contest when Zach LaVine came out and did his first dunk, and you're like, well, he's going to win the dunk contest. But at least Victor Oladipo was hanging around and making it interesting, giving us a foil to a guy out there in McClung, who clearly this is the biggest moment of his life, and you could tell. And shout out to him for actually coming through in the clutch. Everybody's like, this guy's the favorite, this guy's the favorite. And then he went out and did it and looked like the favorite. Great stuff.
What was his best dunk, in your opinion? I mean, he had 4 really, really, really good dunks. And I'm trying to think, like, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what will be his most memorable dunk is maybe another way to put it.
Yeah, I think his 2 dunks were clearly his best 2 dunks. The jumping over 2 guys off the board and the reverse. That one was the best to me. And then the second one was the double pump, like the actual double pump. So that was clearly the second one to me. The 540 one was nice, but I don't think it was as good as the other ones. I think you'll remember the 2 guy jumping over 2 guys, putting it off the glass as the first dunk. And we were in there in the arena, and he got to go last in the first round. And as Trey said, the other guys performed. Yeah. And Trey Murphy was very good, but it was the first round, and McClung took it over with that first dunk, and it was his to lose the rest of the way. Yeah, so I think that one was the one that, got everybody excited for McClung. He is living up to the hype. Yep. He's living up to the McClung hype, and he did it. I mean, he really did it. And yeah, we saw 12 dunks overall, and only one guy had multiple attempts, and it was KJ Martin a couple times. The other 10 dunks were on the first attempt. It was a good overall show because of that.
Yeah, it was.
It was fun because of that, even though, I actually got a note from our man Ryan Setton watching KJ Martin dunk, and Kenyon Martin, dad, was putting it off the glass to him, and he said, why is he throwing it with his left hand? He's a right-handed player. I said, come on, you are getting into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
He said, but it threw him off, like that it wasn't a great toss. I mean, his dunks, he showed up, and the Jericho Sims, unfortunately, a little lack of creativity.
It's not a dunk contest unless there's one guy really disappointing. And
yeah, we said, do the JaVale McGee thing as a big man and get the creativity, get 2 rims out there, 3 balls. Unfortunately, he didn't. He
just wanted to show off that he had crazy hops and he could put his arms in the rim. And it's like, I just don't think that dunk looks that cool. Anyone doing it. Especially after Vince.
I don't think it should be your first dunk. I don't think you should go to the elbow, whether it's both elbows or one elbow, until you have done a really awesome kind of standard dunk, and then you can throw the curveball, and you're like, whoa, that was interesting to see. Best Mac dunk for me was the double pump. That one, I think, is going to age incredibly well. Yeah. Replay dunks, to me, are awesome, and the way they showed it on the broadcast, where they show the slow-mo of the double pump, and then they stop it when his head is at the rim, that was wild. You could hear the crowd pop for that one. Yeah. I thought this was a great contest in general for let's run it back and see what actually happened in the air. It felt like they were giving the judges time to actually look at the replays, and then changing the scoring system from a standard 8, 9, 10 to 48, 49, 50, and then adding those up and dividing it much more precise, much better for the contest. That was the hugest change format-wise, and they should stick with that.
Yeah, that was a smart
and no
decision.
technology F-ups, surprisingly. A lot of times when you put it on a digital board, like there's 5 scores on a digital board, the average comes up. A lot of time we get some just technology screw-ups. It was perfect. And it was actually run very well. And yeah, they have a little bit more accuracy going, from 45 to 50, and it kind of saves them from ridicule and criticism, a la D Wade,
right?
In 2020, just because the number they're not holding a big card. It just comes up on the board and goes,
and then
real
quickly
quick.
goes right to their total their average.
Pretty fast, but a great show.
You guys excited about that 3D printed basketball? It's airless.
I think they did a poor job.
I think that was the technology mistake, though, because apparently that ball feels a lot lighter than a regular basketball because it's not made of leather.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't.
And so now that was KJ Martin, right? He was trying to dunk off the lefty pass from his dad, not a passer in the first place, trying to grab a ball that feels completely different. Once you've accepted technology into your dunk, you've lost.
Yeah, well, the good thing is there was not a lot of props, really. That one, you could argue Jericho Sims,
the folded envelope
that he couldn't open and ripped. Should have ripped it into a 5 because that basically what that dunk was worth.
I saw somebody said even the paper didn't think he got a 50.
Yeah. But outside of that, really, am I forgetting any other props?
Well, I mean, the Jose Alvarado coming in.
I don't count a jersey as a prop.
Yeah, not a jersey, but Jose Alvarado coming in mid-dunk and stealing the ball could have gone bad. Something could have happened, but he stole it, put it off the glass, and Trey Murphy threw it down. Trey Murphy was really good, overshadowed. And if he won, he would have been one of, if Mac McClung didn't exist, if he didn't get wasn't in the G League, didn't sign a 2-way contract, he would have been one of those dunkers that we remember as a winner, but not as an overwhelming winner. McClung made this thing, and 100%. He was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, but I couldn't believe that you talk about not having to do a lot of attempts. The one that Trey Murphy pulled off, where he jumped in the air from the 3-point line, put it under his legs, threw it up in the air, and then, correct me if I'm wrong, it didn't bounce. No, he went and caught it all in one motion and sort of threw down a windmill. To do that on your first attempt is precision timing. And then he also had the one, I think he could have I know he tried. He really tried to lean into hey, judges, which dunk do you want? You want a tomahawk or you want a windmill? I felt like he could have maybe done it a little bit better to the crowd. He got Christian there, sort of the in-arena host. There was a little bit of that, but I wish he really leaned into it. And then he did them sort of both, and it was a good dunk. I mean, it did look good.
Yeah.
So he was at least probably shocked a lot of people how creative he was and obviously how successful he could throw them down.
He did his job as a number 2. It came down to the last dunk for Mac McClung.
Yeah, he had to.
It wasn't just a boring ending. He had to put down the 50. He did. And he dropped the Vince type thing. It's over.
Yeah.
It was solid.
I did, just to go back to the question I asked you guys, I think you nailed it. It's either the first dunk, we're in the arena, we're pretty high up. I couldn't tell when he jumped over the 2 guys stacked. You couldn't tell he tapped it at first. It was whoa, that's a good dunk, but we were okay, we've seen a lot of guys do that where you jump over, and then you see the slow-mo where he tapped it so clean, puts down the reverse. Okay, that was cool. But I'm with you, Trey. My favorite, and the one I think we will remember, it's I'm calling it the glitch. He literally just looks like a video game glitch when he does that double pump reverse. I love how it looks, and maybe it's the slow-mo part of it all and how they edit it, but it looks amazing.
He's flying.
Especially when he's
flying, man.
6'2". He's probably not even really technically that tall. Small guy. Good dunk contests. Really, really good. We can probably fly through these next ones here, but Damian Lillard winning the NBA 3-point contest. I guess on his last shot, that was fun. Needed it to beat Buddy in the finals. Any other favorite moments from this one?
Well, just Dame wanting to put this on his resume because, as he said in the post-game interview, in the post-contest interview, he said, the greats have one of these under their belt, so now I can retire. He just wanted to get there because he wants to be known as one of the greats. A lot of guys retiring from competitions. Jordan Clarkson retiring from the skills challenge a little bit later on, as he said in his post-game interview.
Hopefully everybody has retired.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All the greats have a skills challenge under their belts.
All the Utah greats for sure.
That's actually
Darren Williams, Trey Burke, now Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, he wasn't retiring because he won one. He was retiring for another reason, but we'll get to that. Anyways, just Dame finishing. It is interesting. Those starry balls used to be the Mountain Dew, formerly Sprite balls. I don't know what they've been, but they weren't that far back. But anyway, you get 3 points for each of those shots. And in the finals, Buddy Hield missed both of his,
Yeah.
and Dame Lillard hit both of his. So Buddy had a better round.
So Buddy
overall.
hit more shots,
Yeah.
but because Dame
6
splashed
points from
those
2 shots,
starries,
it came down to that 1 point. So
that's
That's
sort
the
of
NBA
Dame's
these
thing.
days, huh?
Yep. That's right.
It's all about making the ones that count more. I'll say this, Starry finally came through with a 12-pack at my hotel room, so I can say something nice about him.
Yeah.
Calling the the deep balls Starries, very cool. Like, Dame made 2 Starries in that one. I think it works, actually, right there.
I thought they did a good job in arena with when somebody would hit a starry, I felt like it would light up. Everybody's wristband or whatever would light up a different color. So I was like, okay, decent. But this contest it generally delivers because you're seeing obviously guys just shoot 3-pointers that are amazing. And we had a couple runs where guys caught on fire.
Halliburton had a sweet first round.
Halliburton had 31, which
And then he shot great in the All-Star game as well.
Yeah.
I thought there was a little bit of a coming out party there.
Yeah.
A little bit of a coming in party, though, for Kevin Huerter. That was a
rough,
tough one.
rough.
8 got beat by Ryan Smith of the Utah Jazz, the owner. Tough look for a guy a lot of people thought was going to go in and win this one.
Yeah. So we had, I guess in the end, it was Dame. He scored 26 in both of his rounds, so consistent. Halliburton had the high score in the first round, struggled a little bit more in the second round, and then Buddy had 2 good rounds. I think 23 and 25, if I have that correctly. That was my pick to win it there in the end, but it was good stuff. We could get rid of the skills challenge and put more shooters in if you want, if you do them at the same time. I've said that before, but overall, pretty good. Dame's got it, and he's retired. He's done now. And I think even Steph said, yeah, I thought the exact same thing when I won.
too have retired.
Yeah. So they got him. They're good. The first event there on Saturday night, we were in the building for it. Hey, shout out to the arena for getting us in and out of that building quick. Fastest we've ever got in and out for an all-star.
Can't deny that.
Right? We flew
true.
in.
That's a good point.
And caught this. Anyway, Team Utah wins the All-Star Skills Challenge. Maybe for the last time ever. You think the league will get rid of this? Nobody likes it. The players,
likes it.
the fans, the broadcast.
No.
I had my heart crushed in this one, Skeets. We got there. They were finishing up the relay
Oh, yeah, this
portion
is
of
good.
it. The traditional skills challenge part where they're going through all the stuff. They got to throw passes. They got to dribble. They got to hit a shot. I'm like, the only good thing you can say about the skills challenge, it gets over nice and quick. There were 2 more branches.
Yeah, I go Trey. You forgot how this works, man.
no.
We got passing and
no.
shooting still to go.
But man, shout out Walker Kessler coming through from the corner. That guy was money. Let him shoot some threes. Will Hardy.
You said it was. You said it was maybe embarrassing, I guess, that Ryan Smith, beat Kevin Huerter in the
Yes.
3-point contest. What a lot of people probably watching on TV didn't know is that a bunch of kids did the shooting portion in probably a commercial break on the broadcast, but to run it through to show everybody how it works, and they put up a better score than the rookies did in this one. Like a significantly better score. I feel like they actually hit some shots.
The rookies didn't hit a shot that one, right?
thought they hit one.
got a
They
0.
might have hit a 3
No.
right at the end.
Yeah, they gave them something. Yeah. But the kids
bad.
that did it, they shot better.
Yeah,
So that was weird.
I was literally, I was saying because it was on the in-arena televisions as you go to the concourse. They were demonstrating all the different courses. And if that was on television, that would have been horrendous for the rookies. Who Jaden Ivey said it just got confusing at the end. Like they didn't plan what they were doing, how they were shooting, because you have to rotate. You can't be on the same spot.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not surprising that Trey didn't know that there's 16 rounds. Even the lighting operator turned off the lights while the Antetokounmpo bros were doing their thing.
Yeah.
They turned them off because it's like, is there a competition going on here? Is this actually happening? I mean, the props, kind of cool. Like they try and make it cool. Like they've got windmills on the court and a huge hole instead of, just a small ring. Now it's this thing that looks like it's on a game show, like it's on the cube or something. Like it's huge. It kind of looks cool. It looks like a movie set, but it's pointless.
I think we should retire this.
Yeah.
Go anything else.
Exactly.
I really
try
think
something
so.
else. Try
Yeah.
something else. We've tried a lot of random things. Horse, 2-ball, shooting stars. Maybe they'll give 1 versus 1 a try at some point. Because for me, like the coolest thing I saw, like the thing I got most excited about, was watching Paolo Banchero throw overhead bounce passes. I was like, look at how he's throwing it, man. Look at that. He's really whipping it, nailing it every time. 2 hands overhead.
Jordan Clarkson, after winning, literally said, quote, "There is no reason to do this ever again." Is he talking about him, or is he talking about the NBA? Let's just bring out the shooting stars, I think, is the way to go.
I think, 2-baller shooting stars, something like that is.
It's celebrity dunk contest. That's what we do.
Ooh.
Okay.
You start the evening off, 8-foot rims. You got Bradley Cooper out there. You got
Affleck,
Ben
yeah.
Affleck.
Ivan from across the street.
Sure, Guillermo, whoever.
Yeah.
And then they throw down their dunks. And then we do 3-point, and then we raise the rims.
Okay.
That's the way.
Okay.
We have to do that.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's where you bring in. That's where they. The guy from Shazam was in the building, and there's a movie coming out. Let Vin Diesel.
Oh, I thought you meant the app.
No. The movie, the guy, Shazam, the actual guy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Simu Lee was probably there. There's celebrities there.
Yeah.
Let Guy Fieri up there, man. Like, let's see some dunks, 8-foot dunks. That would be entertaining. I would be into that. And then let them have their promos and stuff. By the way, what happened with Vin Diesel? I thought he was supposed to introduce everybody.
Well, he did.
No, he didn't.
He introduced the introduction.
Right. But we were led to believe he was going to be introducing.
Of course we were, because it said he was going to introduce the
Right.
players.
So something happened there. What happened?
Well, they maybe heard him talk and go, "Oh, that's a brutal idea."
Yeah, maybe.
At the end, he just goes, "Love."
Yeah. Chuckles.
With a laugh.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Was he high?
Or they just did that. They said that to get us to be like, "Oh, Vin Diesel's going to introduce them. This will be insane." And he literally just introduced us to the arena. Really.
Right.
Basketball will be happening tonight.
And it's all about family, sort of. He only
Yeah.
stopped
Drop
short
a
of
family.
saying all about family.
He had the fast 10 jacket though.
Yeah.
And
Big X on the
big
back.
X on the back.
It was fast.
Somebody did
Wasn't that furious? Really?
somebody did tweet us that they should do like an other athletes dunk contest, like they used to do in the past. Like Ken Griffey Jr. was in one.
Yep.
Deion Sanders, Barry Bonds. Like these guys are big time athletes now
yeah.
who are playing around. So I don't know. Let DK Metcalf throw one down.
Yeah.
I guess he did in the.
He did. He
or-
threw down a
game.
dunk.
Even if they don't want to dunk, like maybe the celebrities doing some version of these skills could be funnier.
Yes.
Because it's like the silly part is, even though the rookies couldn't hit a shot, it's like NBA players doing the most generic things, bouncing a ball through a giant hole, taking a jumper from the corner, sort of weaving half-assed, through an obstacle. It's like, yeah, they don't care. We know they can do it, so maybe it is funnier to see Guy Fieri try and do that.
Yeah.
It would be.
And then it's more impressive when the actual guys come out as well, right?
You want to have them battle?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Get rid of it. God.
Yeah, just
it's
get-
so impossible to... Like, in the arena, it's obviously impossible. I watched the whole thing on TV, and I was like, oh, my God. What is even happening?
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, they've made it very confusing for sure now too, with the 3 rounds and the point system. It's a mess. It's an absolute
100 points
mess.
each.
They're like 100 challenge points to team rookies. You're like,
Can't give him one challenge point. It all comes down to shooting, though, huh? It's worth 200.
yeah, that's right. That's right. In the end, that's what's
That's all you
important.
need to do.
And then just quickly, the Rising Stars on Friday night. We were doing our live show basically at the exact same time. I'm sure you guys maybe watched the highlights after. Jose Alvarado did win
I watched
Rising
that
Stars
highlight.
MVP. I thought he had a great weekend. Like overall, he said like being included in the dunk contest there a little bit, and he was good. He played well, and he was mic'd up, and he was actually really entertaining on the mic, like calling things out, and yeah, he was good. He was probably deserving of this, even though Grimes caught fire and stuff like that. Any thoughts? Rising Stars. No,
Not too many thoughts. As far as highlights go, to me it was the Jose Alvarado.
Yeah.
Kind of calling it. I think we're fudging a little bit saying he called it. He's like, if I get the ball, I'm gonna make it. And then Mitchell's like, what? Excuse me? If I get the ball, I'm gonna make it. You got the ball. Twice. Couldn't get a shot off the first time. Pretty solid defense.
Yep.
Got it the second time. But yeah, only undrafted guy, I think, playing in Rising Stars, except for all the G League guys who are not drafted yet. But thus far, the only NBA player who is undrafted. Cool.
Yeah, it's nice to see somebody want it.
Yes.
To go after it and play hard. So that happened. I was in a coffee shop on Saturday morning, and some guys from Toronto were there, and they said if Alvarado didn't hit that shot, Scotty Barnes would have won MVP. I'm not totally sure on that, but at least those guys showed up. That team showed up and did get it done in the end. I definitely wasn't consuming this one, just the highlights.
Well, this is my favorite part about Rising Stars. It's the perfect event to not watch live on the Friday night and then watch the highlights. Watch 8-minute highlights, see some cool dunks, see some cool plays, some funny moments. That's it. Boom. I'm not watching however long this took. I don't even know how long it took. I'm sure it took an hour and a half to play.
They played a lot of games.
Or 5. How many games did they play? 3 in the end, because they had the little tournament. Yeah, short games and all that, but that's what I do with this one. And it's fine. It works completely fine. I wouldn't change a thing. Because I'm not going to watch it. Just keep putting up the highlights. It's
just keep it on Friday.
Yeah. All right, let's take a first break. And when we come back, again, we got some other fun random questions about All-Star Weekend. Don't go anywhere.
Back in my day, you didn't want to be called a meathead. It's up there with bozo, jabroni, numbskull, and a bunch of other old school insults you do not want to hear. But these days, maybe it's good to be a meathead. A Butcher Box meathead. Butcher Box takes the guesswork out of finding high quality meat and seafood you can trust. We're talking 100% grass-fed beef, organic chicken, pork raised, crate-free, and wild-caught seafood that's humanely raised with no antibiotics or added hormones. You can get just what you want delivered right to your doorstep with free shipping in the continental US and no surprise fees. You can choose from a variety of box plan options from curated to customized and change your plan whenever you want. You get high quality cuts that are hard to come by at the grocery store and at an amazing value, plus exclusive member deals so you can save big on your favorite cuts. With recipe inspirations, guides, tips, and hacks, you'll be cooking up mouth-watering meals in no time. Personally, I've thrown down a Butcher Box sous vide reverse sear ribeye a few times, and it is always a banger. 135 degrees, 1 to 4 hours, if you are interested. If you're a certified meathead, you're gonna love this. Butcher Box is offering our listeners one of their best deals yet. A 100% grass-fed chuck roast and a whole organic chicken free when you join, plus an additional $20 off your first box. Sign up today at butcherbbox.com/NoDunks. Use code NoDunks to get a 100% grass-fed chuck roast and a whole chicken free in your first box, plus of course $20 off. That's butcherbbox.com/NoDunks. Use code NoDunks to get this special deal and that beautiful chicken.
Yeah, guys, well, rough one this morning, rough one Saturday morning. Why? Skeets, what did we forget to do? We forgot to eat.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to eat on Friday night. We had a VIP party, we had a live show, and then afterwards we end up at, where were we? Dick and Dixie's, I think. Whew! Late one, a lot of beer, very hungover the next day. Skeets punished himself by literally running up a mountain the next day. I am not that fit. I stayed in my room. I did a nice short ab workout followed by a nice gentle yoga sesh with my friends Emma and Dennis from, yes, that's right, Peloton. Listen, there's different fitness levels and I'm not quite the same as Skeets, and that's okay. There's something for everyone on the Peloton app or the bike or the tread, no matter what your fitness level or hangover level you are. The Peloton isn't a bike, as I said. They also make treadmills, have tons of other classes like yoga, strength training, HIIT, H-I-I-T, yeah, HIIT, and boxing. What's that?
Yeah, I think the way to remember that it's H-I-I-T is you think of somebody is coming to help you fix your computer. And you say hi to the IT person.
Oh, hi, IT.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hi, IT. Peloton instructors have a variety of different training backgrounds and styles of motivation that work for people of all fitness levels. You can get moving, whether it's a 10-minute power walk or a 90-minute endurance ride, which Rachel is back on. Shout out to Matt, the banana guy. Peloton offers thousands of on-demand classes available 24/7, which means you can work out whenever and wherever it's convenient to you. You don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy Peloton because there are classes for every level. Whether you're exercise daily or you're new to working out, Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals. Try Peloton risk-free with a 30-day home trial. New members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
Yeah, the boys had a little too much fun on Friday night.
I wouldn't say too much fun.
You had too much fun.
I did have a little bit too much fun.
No, we forgot to eat dinner. That was a big
That
part.
was a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Too many
also
chats.
Too many chats.
too many chats. Well, we're having a great time. We forgot. You also didn't let us eat any of those cookies that we received as a gift, JD.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted it to be an unboxing video. Shout out to Dave and Amelia.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they purchased it from another company. Anyways, they made us a pie
They
from
made us
their
a pie,
company.
too, yeah.
Purchased some other cookies, so we couldn't unbox another
Well, I
company's.
didn't know that at the time.
Right, we figured it out now.
Yeah. We got some.
Pie, though.
We got some
Yeah,
breaking
we didn't
news.
eat that
Key lime.
key lime.
Russell Westbrook to the Clippers. A fish. Yeah, we learned over the weekend. Kevin Love going to the Miami Heat. Russell Westbrook going to the Clippers. Both of those guys buyout guys.
Yes, they are. I think Kevin Love will have more of an impact than Russell Westbrook, but maybe we'll see Russell Westbrook more than we will see Kevin Love. Only time will tell. But yeah, the stream team is not very happy with Westbrook going to the Clippers. They think it's bad news bears. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends on how much he plays for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's if he's their number one guy, things will be bad.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, you didn't-
They've got Terrence Mann as their point guard who does good things. And then they've got Eric Gordon and Bones Highland as new additions off their bench. So what's Westbrook going to do? They're going to have 3 guards off their bench that are entirely brand new. And he could see some closing minutes with them, with the starters. That's surprising to me that they would try and mix it up that much. I don't like that move,
Well,
personally.
We'll see later this week when the action returns. Basketball comes back on Thursday night, and we'll see how Westbrook looks with the Clips and Kevin Love looks with the Heat. But let's do a little fill in the blank. Yeah, fill in the blank. All-Star Weekend edition, of course. Still recapping our time in Salt Lake City. And the first one is, you can go anywhere with this. 2023 NBA All-Star Weekend MVP was
Giannis Antetokounmpo, clearly for me, he just loves it. He was there every single night. Friday night, he was a celebrity coach. He brought out his clipboard. He was having fun. Saturday, he was there for the skills challenge, even though he wasn't participating in it. He was there with the fam. And then he was the biggest name during the dunk contest, courtside, holding his son the entire time, filming it the entire time. You know, some of those are some of the most memorable moments from All-Star Weekends past. Shaq with the camcorder, you know, that kind of thing. And he was there trying to film it. I always wonder what kind of footage, what kind of actual good videos these guys get while they're holding a child, for Giannis in particular, trying to film these dunks. But he was so excited. So I mean, we're always talking about guys got to get in the dunk contest before they get jaded, you know, a few years into the league. Giannis has been in the league 10 years. He was there Friday night. He was there Saturday night. And then Sunday, he was killing it, drafting, making the jokes. Mm-hmm. And then, he participated just quickly, but he was still cheering for his teammates throughout Sunday night. So I think he was the best, sort of ambassador for the league this weekend.
Yeah,
Good
considering he wasn't really able to participate in what he was doing. He was out there doing his bits. I thought that was great. I would have appreciated a camera just on all the NBA players out watching the halftime show during the All-Star game. You could tell that, Giannis was pumped to be seeing Burna Boy live.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. Him and his brothers just, hanging out, vibing out. We did see, I think it was Siakam. We saw one of his videos of Donovan Mitchell, impersonating what Siakam does every time he drives the hoop. Hey! Get all those foul calls. So that was funny. Shout out to him for turning it around really quick and getting it uploaded. But for me, All-Star Weekend MVP, got to be Mac McClung. When we think of the 2023 All-Star Weekend, that will be the main thing. A G League guy coming in, bringing the dunk contest back. And I think his dunks are going to age pretty well just because they're so good in slow motion. We'll see what he does next year. But for this year, gotta be Mac as the All-Star Weekend MVP. That's the thing people remember. When Saturday night is a success, All-Star Weekend is a bigger success.
Yeah, it's a good call. But I gotta give All-Star Weekend MVP to the correspondent from the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, Guillermo, because he stuck a wedgie. That's right, and he was pumped about it, and it made the official NBA.com write-up too for the celebrity game. I love that. Straight up using wedgie. So this to me is our true All-Star Weekend MVP. I didn't see this one either, but it was apparently entertaining. It was like a fun finish in the end. The Miz hit a half-court shot, which I believe is worth 4 points.
Would have been behind the Ruffles line.
Behind the Ruffles line, and it would have won the game, but it like came like a half a second after the buzzer went. But he splashed it from half with the WWE wrestler.
Yeah, he said, just give it to me. I saw him in an interview. He
Yeah.
said, just give it to me. Isn't this the WWE? Can't we script it a little bit here?
And then the MVP of the game was DK Metcalf, the wide receiver for the Seahawks. He had 20 points, 10 boards, 4 blocks. I don't know if you saw any of his highlights.
The jam.
He threw down like half a dozen dunks. It was just like way too damn physical, way too intense for everybody else in this game. But he was the MVP, like I said. And then Richard Jefferson was pretty funny too. He did it all. He was on the broadcast. He once again did a little officiating, and then he ripped off the official's shirt and was playing a little bit too, and also threw down a dunk. So he did it all.
I do kind of like that LeBron wasn't there until Sunday. He doesn't deserve the MVP, but I kind of like the fact that everybody else got a lot of shine, because I thought this was going to be the LeBron weekend. After taking over the scoring title, I thought we were just going to get presentation after presentation after presentation after presentation. We got one when he won the scoring title, and then he took the mic the next night. So I thought this could be the weekend of LeBron. But Nike was doing the Ja Morant shoe and that activation, that was cool. I don't think LeBron got any sort of activation or pub until Sunday when he got there, because he said apparently he had some stuff to do with his son and their basketball team. So I kind of liked it, to be honest, for the rest of the league. And he could have obviously taken over the entire weekend because he just got the scoring title, but just one presentation on Sunday night there.
Co-MVP of the All-Star Weekend, Janelle Monáe. She was in the Rising Stars game, and she sort of had Twitter going nuts last night with her outfit in introducing, I guess, was it LeBron James? Would she sort of set that up?
She
was
did.
it not?
Yeah, she did.
The scoring
leaders.
Yeah, scoring achievement. So there she is. She was, and she's got the fun vibes in the celebrity game too. So she gets along with Guillermo an All-Star Weekend MVP vote from me. She is a babe, an absolute 10. Fill in the blank. Your best celebrity sighting was, TK. Did you see Janelle Monáe? I didn't see her.
No.
So who else are you going with?
3 great ones, to be quite honest. Dwayne Wade was a huge one. We saw Dwayne Wade at a party. That guy's a Chicago legend. Interviewed him a few times, but haven't seen him since we were done at Turner. It was cool to see him out and about. Looks great. Won his 3-point contest against Ryan Smith. Best late night celebrity sighting? When we saw Sam Perkins in the hotel. I said he was my number 1 guy to add to an old timers game. It looks like he could still hoop. That guy's humongous, man. Yeah. I don't think of him as a tall guy, but man, he looked every bit of 6'10" or whatever he was. But my best celebrity sighting was at the crossover event on Saturday, just wandering around. And that's when Skeets and Jerome and I saw Benny the Bull.
Oh, this was legendary.
We locked eyes, human eyes to mascot bull eyes. He came over, stroked the beard, and then we went in for the deepest hug I've ever given an animal in my entire life. Guys,
I was standing right next to this, and this was a long, passionate embrace.
True love here.
This was true love. Well, it was true love because he was on the floor, he's doing something, right? They're running like little relays with kids and stuff, and like I never do this, but even I was pumped to see Benny the Bull, and we're like screaming for him, like, Benny, just like look at. We just want him to look at us so we can take a photo, and then he turns around and he sees TK, and it was like it was like a movie where people lock eyes, and it's like you hear the music, and then they came together.
It was like those 2 kids running down the street to meet each other, like those 2 preschool kids.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
The deepest hug. Yeah.
What about you? Best celebrity sighting?
Well, we saw Guillermo in person as well. It is hilarious how many people just run up to him and want to take pictures with him. Did you?
No,
take a picture?
I got excited when I saw him, though. Yeah. I didn't take a photo.
I agree. I was also excited. Talking to Wade was number 1. And the fact that, I don't think I'm divulging too much from our conversation, but he brought up allergies here in Georgia, and it gets to everybody, even the best athletes in the world. So that just made me feel good because I thought I was allergy free for life until coming down here, and I got hit hard.
Yeah,
anyway,
me too.
Also, I saw this is personal, this is about me really, but seeing Lindsey Vonn, a great athlete, holding a Red Bull because she was tired, I'd like to believe, but also probably because she's sponsored. But at the same time, I made JD. JD was asking us if we wanted something to drink. He was going to grab us something to drink at our live show, and I ordered a Red Bull and vodka. And he said, "What are you, 19 years old?" An incredible athlete was holding a Red Bull, probably because she's sponsored. But anyway.
You asked for it sugar-free as well. Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, the Urban Lounge is nice, but it's like a bar. It's like a band bar place.
Yeah. So
I got to go up to this gruff bartender and be like, can I have a sugar-free vodka and sugar-free? And he was like, no.
Yeah, it was pretty particular.
Yeah, and then I brought it to you, and it was Red Bull, and you're like, too sugary.
Listen, they are used to celebrities being particular in that place, right? You know?
At the Urban Lounge?
Yeah, sure,
yes.
of course.
Well,
Absolutely.
Donnie
They're
Benet's
musicians.
coming. Wait
Donnie Benet,
to
wow.
see his order.
They had sugar-free next door. At Blue
No, that
Jeans.
place was way nicer.
It was nice.
I did like Wade. That was probably my answer because we got to chop it up with him a little bit. But it was fun to just see like a lot of the media people too.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
Worldwide Wob and Woj and Beck and Ben Gulliver we saw right before we
Yeah.
left actually right at the end. Mark Spears.
Good time, Timmy Bontemps.
Shout out to Spears, Hall of Famer Mark Spears.
What about this media member?
Yeah, so
I
that
said
was
Dwayne
great.
Wade beat Ryan Smith. He lost. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
I'm a liar.
oh, man,
I'm a liar.
jeez.
I was backing him.
But my favorite celebrity sighting, not really a celebrity, I saw a coyote. Like an actual coyote on that run I went for, JD, my punishment hangover run.
Yeah.
I was in some gulch. I was like, oh, what's that dog doing there? Where's that dog's owner? I'm like, hold on. That ain't a dog. And then I didn't know what to do. I was running towards where the coyote was. I'm like, I've never done this, never experienced this. Can I run at it? Will it run away? It's going to kill me?
My only knowledge is from cartoons, and you run away from a coyote.
Yeah, I found the biggest
Drop an
anvil I
anvil
could
on it.
find. Yeah.
Just
But it
paint an escape
scurried
on a
up the
mountain.
ridge, but that was fun. I was out there with nature. Beautiful city, Salt Lake City.
Oh,
my
so
goodness. My goodness. All right, fill in the blank. Tass, you go first here. Least favorite thing about All-Star Weekend was?
Well, we actually, when we left here in Atlanta, got on the airplane. Two gentlemen were sitting in 1A and 1B, and they were large gentlemen, one younger, one had a basketball on his shirt. So we figured, okay, they're going there for All-Star Weekend. Who are they? They look like basketball players. We got off the plane, and we figured it out. As we were going to our shuttle, we heard the name Kessler, Walker Kessler. Figured it out because the Walker Kessler family is from Georgia, where we left from.
Right.
We figured it out real quick. Oh, yeah, Dad played college ball there. That must have been Brother Kessler. And then we got to the CAA party. We saw the entire Kessler family. I got hit in the butt by Andrea Kessler, Mom Kessler. Was it on purpose? Maybe. Ooh. No, she just hit me. She apologized right away. Anyways, my least favorite part is that I was excited just to figure out this puzzle, and you made fun of me. Like I said we need to lead the show on Friday night with the Walker Kessler conundrum. We have to talk about this. And you said, oh wow. The A-list material.
So now the people can tell us who was right, because I'm still not convinced.
No. Anyways, it was great to see Walker Kessler and Will Hardy.
Great to see Walker Kessler.
Yeah, and Donovan Mitchell, and just eavesdropping on conversations at that CAA party.
Oh, it was a blast.
We got so many scoops.
We saw Joe Mazzulla. I said to Skeet, should I go do a somersault by him?
That was
Least
fun.
favorite thing is I didn't do it. Another cool celebrity sighting I just thought of. Cool story about here. On Tass and I's flight home, Pusha T was sitting in first class.
That was cool.
That was
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was
Same.
weird. It's 7 a.m. I'm very groggy. Walking,
Yeah.
just saw him sitting there. Hey, King Push, nice. Walking, hey, smooth,
Yeah, you
smooth. I
called
realized
it.
the oldest looking guy ever saying, "Wow, I appreciate what you're doing out there." I didn't have a ton of FOMO missing the game last night, but my least favorite thing is the one bit of FOMO I did have. They did a happy birthday rendition to Charles Barkley,
Yep.
whose birthday is today, February 20th. I could have been in that arena 20,000 people singing happy birthday.
Oh,
2 of them would have been Vin Diesel and Guy Fieri.
yeah.
Singing happy birthday to me on my birthday?
It's a good point.
Did I blow it? No.
No.
Not at all.
You were
'Cause it
happy to
still
be
felt
at
like
home?
that.
You were happy to be at home and not
Yes.
up in the nosebleeds maybe
Yes,
for 6
yeah.
hours?
Me and Ivan throwing down. Would have missed out on that,
I'll go with my least favorite thing. Maybe Karl Malone being included in the LeBron James scoring achievement or whatever they want to call that thing at the end was.
The top 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
There wasn't not a lot of Karl Malone, I would say overall, at least from our perspective being there. Maybe there was more on TV, I don't know, but an interesting decision there, I would say, by the NBA. Of course, it's in Salt Lake City. Maybe they do it so you include him, and then people are less likely to go, why he's not included, and like, what's the reason people don't like him? So I would go with that. But the least favorite thing is the skills challenge. I'm like, now, I used to like go to bat for it. Hey, it's fine. Gets the night going, whatever. It's like,
going.
it's just needs to be scrapped. It's confusing. It's tedious. And nobody cares. So just try anything else, and people will be happy, I think. Last one. This is an All-Star weekend. Let's looking ahead. Second half storyline you're most excited for is blank.
We're going to be talking about the Lakers a lot. I do believe we are, so I'm kind of interested in this mad dash here. They got 23 games left. All of them at this point are basically a must-win because they are still 13th in the Western Conference, 5 games under 500, but only 2 back of 10th spot, making it into the play-in tournament. Only 3 back of the 7th seed, hosting play-in tournament games, which is a benefit. And then only 3.5 games back of the 6th seed, actual playoff appearance. It'll be interesting to see if the new-look Lakers have their full squad for all of these games because they're going to need the best LeBron they can get. They're going to need the best AD they can get. And, it's only basically a month and a half that they really have to have left to get these wins under their belt. So it feels like we're going to be talking about the Lakers a bit, but I think they actually will deserve it. Not quite the same as in the first half of the season when, it was almost Lakers square jar. Square jar?
Square jar, yes.
The Lakers Square Jar is you can pay via the Square app.
There you go.
Yeah, we're opening a digital swear jar called the Square Jar. Feel
Damn.
free to chip in.
That's a sponsored swear jar. Sponsored by Square.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, LeBron came out of this weekend saying there's 23 games left. I need to play in each and every single one. And then he hurt his finger on the rim. So hopefully he'll be fine to play all those 23 games because he seems pretty damn focused on playing all those.
Anything else you got that you're a second half storyline you're excited for?
To actually watch all these teams put together the last 22, 23 games, especially the teams that have new parts.
Yeah.
Durant and the Suns, Kyrie and the Mavs, the Lakers with all their new parts. The Clippers have a lot of new parts now with Westbrook, but not even just those teams. Teams that are getting back injured players. Zion and the Pels eventually, Curry and the Warriors eventually. And the Cavs, to me, if they want to be a legitimate contender, they need to improve these last 20 games. There was some chatter at All-Star Weekend that this team can come out of the East. They have to be better throughout the entire game. They like to get in holes and then just rely on Donovan Mitchell to pull them out. If they want to be legitimate, they have to improve these last 20 games. I know this is sort of the dark days of the NBA season, coming into March Madness when that's on the schedule, but these games do matter a lot for getting the flow together, and you'll see Kawhi playing every single game basically to try and get going because they do matter. You got to get in the flow before the playoffs.
I think I'm most excited to see who takes the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference because that could decide who's going to the NBA Finals from the East with how close and talented the teams at the top are. The Celtics have a half-game lead over the Bucks right now. Milwaukee's on a 12-game win streak right now, so they'll pick that up after the All-Star break here. And then the Sixers are still within striking distance of both of those teams, so it's not that far-fetched that even they could get the number 1 seed. And man, in a potential series between any of these 3 teams who have separated themselves a little bit from the rest of the East, that could be a difference maker, a Game 7 on your own floor if it gets to that. So that is going to be awesome. Celtics getting back healthy, the Bucks also, getting all their pieces there and clicking, and then the 76ers trying to stay within striking distance of them. I think that's going to be fantastic here. And those are 3 awesome teams that could all go to the finals, hypothetically. So that'll be a fun one to watch. Let's hear from you out there, though. Second half storyline.
What was up with
You're
Joel
most excited
Embiid?
for?
Said his foot was hurt. Just goes an All-Star weekend, dropping 33 points.
Dominated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look good.
He looked fine. Yeah, I'm not sure. JD, did you have any answers for any of those or any other thoughts from All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, well, I think you went a little too easy on the worst part of All-Star Weekend to me was the drafting of the players. Like, it was just such a gong show. It was a complete clusterfuck. Mm-hmm. I feel like they had like switching up the order to for feelings. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we did it better when we did it with kids in 2018.
Wow.
And that's how they should have done it. It should have been
actually smart. They should have had the kids in the jersey. Yeah, they could have done something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think it should have been like a schoolyard, like literally on the court, Giannis, LeBron, pick a guy, everybody all together. So you could pick a reserve. You don't have to pick a starter.
Yeah.
Well, would Giannis have picked Drew Holiday? I mean, there's that. And then who? That's everybody is interested in who's getting picked first and who's getting picked last. That was the most interesting thing of the night, and they had so little confidence in it. They fucking piled music on it. You could barely hear what Ernie was saying, and then Matt and I believe that they were like, oh, this is going to be a dud, so let's get Charles and Shaq to chime in on their picks and stuff. People would have been riveted if they had just quieted it down and just play, who you picking? Let's go. And like, oh my God.
And then that means it's happening much, much quicker too.
So much faster way more interesting. So anyways, you get like, I think it was a complete flop and a total failure. And I was watching it just angry, and Rachel was losing her goddamn mind. It was like, these are grown men. Like, who cares? Everybody's an all-star. Just like,
yeah,
relax.
Everybody agrees with that.
Yeah,
It only took us 7 minutes.
What's that?
It only took us 7 minutes.
When we did the draft?
Yeah.
On
7 minutes
7
and
minutes.
17 seconds. I'm looking at it right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
But we didn't have Skeets like giving us a stat about every guy after the draft.
I thought Ernie, put in the position he was put in.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Trying to keep it going.
I thought
that
that part was actually somewhat fast. The guys walked over, a jersey was handed to a kid,
and then they were,
based on whether it was Giannis or LeBron, they'd say, okay, you got picked over here. So they gave him the right colored jersey, and then they took a photo. That part was actually somewhat fast.
That's
the
fine.
chronological thing was.
I think
it's just nuts not to have the best players picked first.
Right.
Yeah. In my head too, I thought they would maybe be like, we would hear from the players that just got picked a little bit more, or there'd be like more reaction a little bit.
Right.
I guess I had tricked myself into thinking that it would be like, I don't know why I thought that, but just like some jokes going back and forth. Like, you're gonna regret this, whatever. But there was none of that, because it was like they're not mic'd up, and they're obviously told, like, all right, just get through with this. Yeah. It's also at the end of a long weekend for these guys, and everybody's like, basically, they all need a Red Bull.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's
pound them
fair,
full of Red Bull before they do this.
Yeah, and on a positive note, we have the best fans in the world. Like, our live show was incredible.
Yep.
Being out there, meeting everybody, and VIP was hilarious and great, and so shout out to Salt Lake. I am definitely going back. I love that city. It was great.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, thanks to everybody that came out to our live show on Friday night. We did a blast. We posted that to, obviously, all of our podcast feeds. We even put it up on YouTube. There's no video element to it, but you can hear it. You can hear a rowdy crowd. They were not lacking energy, I'll tell you that.
Electric.
It was electric. But it was so much fun. And, the VIP meet and greet and hanging out after the show even was a blast. So thank you. Hopefully, there's not a 3-year gap until our next live show.
I like to think we're like Kendrick Lamar. A lot of musicians these days, they release a project every 6 or 7 months. Just churning them out. He takes his time, considers what he's doing. Years between releases.
Yeah.
It took us 3 years to come up with the perfect live show. Hopefully we can accomplish the next one sooner.
Yeah.
But if it takes 3 years, that's what it takes.
That's right. You can't rush perfection. All right, let's take our final break. When we come back, we have a very, very fun tweet of the night. But I want to talk about nostalgia, okay? Being a kid. A couple of my favorite things, obviously, the movie Rad. I say it all the time. I would include dunking on a mini hoop as a kid. Dwayne Kelly, my next door neighbor. We had it like attached to sort of like his front porch somehow, and we would throw down dunks on that. Playing Nintendo, that's a given. And eating cereal while watching cartoons. Why can't I say that? Eating cereal while watching cartoons.
Nailed it.
Magic Spoon has replicated your favorite childhood cereals to taste good, but each serving contains 0 grams of sugar, Tasmellis,
I love that.
13 to 14 grams of protein, Trey Kirby.
Muscles. Yeah.
And JD, listen up, 4 to 5 net grams of carbs per serving.
Nice. As little carbs as possible. That's
right.
you.
It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free. It's a perfect way to relive those moments as a kid watching cartoons, eating this delicious cereal. 8 unique flavors. You're not going to get bored of feeling good with Magic Spoon. My favorites, Honey Nut and Frosted. Those to me are the OGs, but they also have flavors like cocoa, fruity, peanut butter, blueberry muffin, maple waffle, cookies and cream, and cinnamon roll. And Trey Kirby, just for your birthday yesterday, the flavor birthday cake is back. That's right. The super popular, previously limited edition only flavor is back to stay. People spoke, said we love our birthday cake cereal. Don't make it a limited edition run. We want it all the time.
We got birthdays every day.
That's right.
Somebody's born every day.
That's right. Celebrating our birthdays early with this fan favorite. His so early, it's like next year. It's like he's already celebrating. Yeah. But I love Magic Spoon. A lot of the friends that have tried this out, they're like, oh, this is really good. Start ordering it to Canada, for crying out loud. We got half of Canada ordering Magic Spoon at this point. So head to magicspoon.com/nodunks to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try the magic for yourself. And be sure to use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. Magic Spoon, so confident in their product. I would almost say downright cocky that it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/nodunks. Use the code NODUNKS to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this classic.
If you like wine, we have a cool new wine service on board called First Leaf. I use a similar service for coffee, so I was down to try it. You take a quiz, tell First Leaf what you like, and they send you wine. Easy as that. I rated those initial bottles I got, and First Leaf used the responses to curate my customized selection of delicious, award-winning wines based on my preferences with 96% accuracy. Well, 96% accuracy for others, 100% for me. They got me and my wife from the jump, no problem. We had a Grenache. Then we went to the Andes region for a sweet Argentinian red, and then we traveled to Italy for a bottle with David on the front. Honestly, the bottles are just nice to look at, like Serge Ibaka. First Leaf does art. It's America's most personalized wine company. They take the guesswork out of wine selection, and they always send a variety of new and exciting wines right to your door, with each bottle priced lower than what you'd pay at a wine store. You even get to choose when to receive your wine. I like that because I was in Salt Lake City. I picked and chose the exact time when someone was going to be home. It was easy. And every selection is backed by First Leaf's satisfaction guarantee. Sign up today and you'll get your first 6 bottles for $39.95 plus free shipping. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/nodunks. That's tryfirstleaf.com/nodunks to get your first 6 bottles for $39.95 plus free shipping. Try firstleaf.com/nodunks.
Love your wine, Wayne.
It took a lot of discipline to leave that line out of the ad read.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Wayne Gretzky's line of wines. I don't know how many he has. I was just gonna say wine. I'm sure he's got a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. People say, "I love your wine,
If
Wayne."
you see Wayne Gretzky, do
I
not
love it.
compliment him on his obviously hockey skills, maybe even broadcast skills.
Number 1 on the Athletics top 100 NHL players.
Yeah, but you say,
Nice.
you have to say, if you see Wayne Gretzky in person, you have to yell at him, "Love your wine, Wayne." Okay, that's just the rule. Pick 'em results from Thursday night. We got no board for you because there's no game on tonight, but Trey, you had the Clippers and you got that correct. They were playing the Suns. This is a long time ago at this point. L for me, L for Tass. Trey's 7-5. We're playing catch up here, but we got I guess it's a short month.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is it a leap year?
Not this year.
Damn.
Next year.
Tyrese Halliburton is not getting older.
Turn 6 next year, they said during the 3-point contest.
So anyway, we'll make our picks when we come back on Thursday and back into that. But let's get to Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow. Twitter.
Yeah, I love this Tweet of the Night. It's from Bum Chillips, a.k.a. Spencer Hall. Every day should be Saturday. a very, very funny Twitter follow. He had 2 tweets. They went hand in hand about last night's All-Star game. He first tweets, let the players live bet on the All-Star game. He wants the players to live bet. And he clarified, you want interest, obviously, in this All-Star game? You give Luka odds on 20 in the third quarter and watch the fireworks. I think he's onto something here. I think this is actually, it will never happen. Well, maybe not never, because the NBA is definitely in bed with a lot more, betting sites and stuff like that. But this is a very fun idea to have the players betting on lines and stats and scores and stuff like that during the game. Good idea.
Who says they're not?
Well, that's the thing, they are. So let's just make
Maybe
it public.
Luka saw us under. He's like, easy.
Man, yeah,
I'm gonna go out there and do nothing.
Just made $1 million.
Made $1 million last night just jogging up and down the court. Pretty good deal if you can get it. I saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander said, "Do you want people to care? Pay us money." I mean, he is on a 4-year, $100 million contract, but I think it is every single sport has a bad All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like, the NFL is so bad that they play flag football now.
Yeah.
They had to move it before the Super Bowl so anybody would care. Baseball had a tie once upon a time. They don't play hard either. It just ain't how it is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's hard to disagree. It is fun to think about, though, that guys would be, either going under. So that'd make it a little too easy. Or going the over. It's like, I think what's happening, I think the XFL started since the Super Bowl is over. And all they talk about on the broadcast is bet. Like, so much that the commentators seems like they're in on it. Like, everything is a bet. You know, we don't want to go down that path. But it would be fun on Sunday for All-Star Weekend to see Dame try and drop 30 and a quarter.
Because he's got $50K on it with Jokic on the other side or something like that. Fun tweets there from Spencer Hall. Again, a very, very funny follow. All right, let's call it there. I bet the under on this podcast 90 minutes, so I'd like to wrap this up. I'm going to make a lot of money off of this. But we will be back on Thursday, so we're going to take a couple days off here. No NBA action on. Everybody, I assume a lot of these guys maybe hit an island for a couple days, or at least just chill out with fam at home. So we're going to do the same. Not the island part, but we'll be here in Atlanta. I'm coming over to play hoops. I'd like to throw down some dunks. Lower that thing to 8.
It's an 8 right now.
Love to see if I can pull off some McClung dunks on an 8.
I went between the legs last night. Kids went crazy. 10s all around.
You put water or sand in that base?
This is a water base. I might be adding sand because I'm a little nervous about having it up at 10 feet with a car parked near it. On a breezy day, could be dangerous.
Nah, I don't want to blow up your spot, but you do have a bit of a sloped driveway.
That's right.
Where's
That's
this neck going?
It's at the top of the slope. So there is, and we did have quite a few times, the ball just rocketing down.
And then your street, like it continues, like it goes down.
Oh yeah. And the yard across the street, if it doesn't get caught on the curb, it's got a big time slope, so it's gonna go down onto these people's front doorstep. I'm sure they saw me outside yesterday hacking away at putting this thing together, just like, oh my goodness, this guy's gonna be out dribbling
bouncing
all the time.
balls
Everywhere. But the plan long term is to add a new concrete patch a little further to the right of the driveway.
Oh, okay.
Another place to park the car, another place to get some shots up. Because right now, I'm probably looking at a 17-footer as the farthest shot I could take, which is fine for me and David West. But I want my kids to grow up in a three-point shooting environment.
Okay.
You gotta modernize.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right, well, we'll be over to play some hoops. We will be back on Thursday. You got lots of time, though, to listen to the brand new podcast, Is This Good? Trey and I went on the latest one with Matty O and JD to talk about dance circles, whistling. We actually got into a heated debate about whistling. Some of us were pro whistling, thought it was very good. Matty O, spoiler, was not high on whistling. Though we were like talking about two different whistlers, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
there's the
big
annoying,
category.
Whistler who like doesn't know he's whistling all the time. And then there's, to me, like someone that can like do like the fingers in, loud ass whistle, which I think is cool as shit. So anyway, we got into that.
So cool.
Yeah, man. But dance circles, you have a quick opinion on dance circles? You've been in them, you've watched them? You love them.
God, yeah. It can take away from the individual's dancing, you know, if you're just watching.
Yeah.
Like, why
Yeah.
aren't you dancing?
It's tough to stop a
temporary.
dance circle.
It's got to be temporary.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, we did a good 10 minutes on that. So check out Is This Good? It's available wherever you download and listen to podcasts. It's also up on YouTube. Just search for Is This Good? And go give Matty O's pod a listen and a follow. All right, guys. That was fun. We'll be back on Thursday. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if there's anyone out there in Italy, you just reminded me, my best whistling experience was a cab driver in Rome whistled Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On." It was incredible.
Oh, that's good.
He's got it as a skill, a talent.
Very nice.
By request?
No. He just did it.
Can you whistle?
Not well.
Oh, well,
it was.
same here. But you can.
It seems like you're jealous of the big whistles.
Oh, hell yeah. I can only. That's not bad. Okay, we're about to hit the over. Brace the day, people.